What's up, guys? Today we're going to be changing things up a bit. We got a little bit of car commentary with a special guest. Hope you guys enjoy. Originally, I actually wanted to talk about mental masturbation. Am I going to have to censor that on YouTube?
Yeah, that's not passing. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's not passing the YouTube guidelines, bro. They're gonna demonetize you.
Bro, okay, so I got into this self-help space. And the original intention was, shout out to Ben Bader. The original intention was okay, I'm going to start this YouTube, look like a high quality copywriter. And, people know I'm not a freaking weirdo, that I can talk. And if I could talk eloquently, then my copy's got to be good too, right? But it's also something I really like to do.
Yeah, okay.
Obviously, I freaking love talking.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's just one of my favorite things. I was having a discussion with some person, they know who they are, the other day, about what are my favorite things. And, I used to really overcomplicate this answer. Well, I like to do this and this and this. And firstly, I don't even think people should identify themselves with the activities that they do. But, if everybody could collectively agree that they're just humans doing things that humans do, then we'd be fine. There wouldn't be no identity crisis. But, I guess Westerners, if you will, not even Westerners, I guess people place too much value on putting an identity on yourself, and just bro, just be human,
Yeah, everyone wants to be individual, but everyone wants to be different, man. They want to have their own thing that makes them them. They want to be quote unquote themselves.
Right. And what's insane is that even that idea isn't even their own. Yeah. Right. So we should just be people. Be comfortable with, having conversations on YouTube, because I'm not the first person to ever do this. Maybe this will blow up because I'm real as but in reality, I'm not going to be the first person to do this. Obviously, this medium is going to evolve, and people are going to be doing similar things. So just make some money, live life, and don't overcomplicate it. Okay, so what the freak is mental masturbation though? I've heard this term, the gurus, the Hamzas, and the... I
have no clue, bro. You gotta inform us. What's mental masturbation?
Okay, buddy. All right, so those guys, they're gonna be David Gogginsing, and they're gonna be entertaining, and they're watching all this self-help content, my stuff included. You should definitely subscribe. But they're gonna be watching all this self-help content, and they're gonna be wow, I'm rich, I'm a man, I'm a hustler.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm okay, that's freaking great. Where's the proof? You're talking okay, I'm gonna make all this money. I'm a real man. I'm gonna take the red pill and break out of the matrix. Good, freaking great, dude. But you can continue consuming this stuff, but all these guys are telling you to take action. You're not even taking action. And I know so many people like that too. It's and I actually was one of those people. I'm gonna get rich. I'm gonna get paid, and obviously I wasn't always a copywriter. I had other things in mind. I had other goals as well, but it ended up all right, whatever I do, I'm gonna have to just do it and lock in on it. And that took a combination of saying, wow, this guy got successful off of this, maybe I should try that. Drop shipping, freaking 5-figure months, just selling no strips or something like that. That's the next big shiny object. But when are you gonna do it? So I guess I settled on copywriting because I've always found it easy to kind of just talk. But regardless, at a certain point, I had realized that, wow, I can't just spend 2 hours a day on this and expect to get some really decent results. I'm actually gonna have to go full, and that's actually part of the reason why I'm dropping out of college. There's no point in
not going full throttle into something that you don't believe that you can do.
Yeah, actually, yeah. It's literally there's no point in doing that. And honestly, I want to expand on that. There's no point in going full throttle mentally if you're not going to actually take the steps that are necessary. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're never going to get there.
You're never going to get there.
You're just going to hold yourself back. Yeah, I mean, it's like any other business model. You have to learn, dedicate time, and any effort you put into it, and you give 100% seriousness into it, you will see the results as long as you stay consistent with it. But that goes for anything. I mean, that can apply to literally any business model.
Absolutely. Not even just business, just anything in general. You're gonna have to learn a skill. People see the gurus online, and they see the guys with the cars and they got the Dan Bilzerians or whatever. They're living a lifestyle, they're living a dream. And because you're so used to consuming short form content. You're on TikTok and you're just seeing an excess of wealth and luxury, and by the way, that's filtered feed to just really keep you on there, and that's more mental masturbation, really. Just like, eventually after a certain point, you know, you're gonna have to get that course. I know you guys freaking hate that word. Everybody hates that word, course, mentorship, one-to-one coaching, whatever you want to call it.
Because they kind of associate it with a scam.
They do, and there are scam courses out there. No, 100%. And if you bought a scam course, honestly, it's kind of your fault.
I should have done your due diligence.
You should have done your due diligence.
Yeah.
There's a method to buying courses. You have to,
do research.
Firstly, actually try to see if you can benefit from the free value this guy's giving first.
Yeah.
If this guy's not giving free value that you can actually at least grow somewhat off of, then there's no point in buying his course, because the free value should have been beneficial in the first place. You know, if his free value is trash, then his course can't be any better. You know, that's your fault, right?
Yeah.
You made the investment, and that's part of that mentality that, well, if I invest in this $4,000 course, this mentorship, this coaching program, whatever you want to call it, then I'm gonna get rich quick. Newsflash, even after you get that course, even if it was beneficial, you still have to put in the work. You still have to do it. You're still gonna have to implement. Because really think about it, $4,000 course, if that. I mean, some mentorships are like $2,500. I know a trader who's based in Atlanta is riding in a Lamborghini Urus, and he's selling a mentorship 1-to-1 for $2,500. That's not a lot of money. You know, how much does a degree cost? So you're wincing at a couple bands, yet you're completely okay with investing $56,000, if not more, in a degree with way less certainty. You're gonna have to break out of that structure, that mindset that makes you think that whatever small action you do with just some impulse decision is gonna just make you get rich quick.
Your slim frame, your eager eyes, and your wild mane. Oh, they keep me where I belong. All wrapped up in wrong. You're to blame for wasted words of sad refrain. Don't let them take me where they may. Believe me when I say.
So definitely got to put in your own work.
It's definitely one of the scariest, if not like the scariest decisions you can make in life, being an entrepreneur, because you're pumping money into something that has no guarantee, and you cannot be seeing results for months, if not years, and there's nobody holding you accountable. There's no safety net, and you have to work it like a full-time job. You have to.
Yeah. And that's why I actually disagree with people when they say, oh yeah, workers should be, bosses should, there's some people who actually say this. They're like, bosses should be getting paid the same work rate or the same amount as literally their workers, because the workers do the same work. No, bro, the workers didn't risk anything. The workers just pull up and they get paid. They just do the shift that they're assigned. But the actual people who made that work in the first place literally had to risk money to even start up in the first place, and that wasn't even guaranteed. So it's a complete risk. So.
You know what's also interesting is that you can work 8 hours a day, you can work 12 hours a day, and you can still be lazy.
Yeah.
Like some of these guys are like, oh man, I'm putting in the hours, I'm putting in the work. I got two full-time jobs. I'm really doing this. But to be considered a hard worker, you have to have both mental rigor and physical rigor.
Yep.
Right? And when you're working a cushy, not even cushy, when you're just working a job with a secure paycheck, no one's really gonna question your work ethic that much. Like if you're doing the standards, and obviously businesses account for this, right? Like they account for people who aren't gonna be putting in their all. They average out like the worker performance. That's averaged out. So they're not really gonna mind if you're like underworking. If you're one of those guys, you got 2 full-time jobs, no one's holding you accountable for how much you really care about something, because in the end, you could give it like half of your effort and you'll still get paid, right? And so what entrepreneurship does is it really sorts those kinds of people out, right? I mean, plenty of people that I know have tried this route. They've tried this online business route, and they got to a certain point, and then they burnt out because A, it was just not working for them, or B, they were hammering the nail, and it turns out it was a screw.
Yeah.
Right? I just got to send 50 outreaches a day, cold emails, not even cold emails, 50 outreaches a day, and they're cold DMs. Hey, I'm a copywriter, and I can really add 500K to your revenue source. Like, these freaking nuts, bro. You can add 500K to my revenue source. Like, what? No. Yeah, these guys will work 8 hours a day sending those cold DMs, even 500 cold DMs. And if they do get a client, it's gonna be a trash client, because the client's just desperate for someone, or either that or the client really just doesn't really care, but they just want to have a copywriter or a growth operator on their team. And you didn't really do any valuable work, right? And so this kind of comes into this brings into question the idea of what opportunity cost is. You can work 8 hours of the same method, low quality, and you'll make a fraction of someone who worked 3 hours sending 2-3 outreaches, free value, Loom, video intro DM, genuine prospect research, and like all the fixins. You can do that, and you'll land a high-paying client, 5-figure client, even 6-figure client, just because you decided to put into work, give it some mental effort, and send an outreach that was, something that you'd read.